Let me tell you something about Live 2003. When you haven't played it for a while or you don't play it that often, it can be rough on the sticks. It's definitely a lot more arcade leaning.
I agree. And it really comes down to your expectations because, as you said, it does lean in that arcade direction. There's a lot of sim bones to it. I mean, it's still got rules. It's still emulating the NBA in a realistic style to an extent, but the gameplay is very arcade leaning, for sure.
NBA Live 2003 gameplay was extremely fast and relentless. Every drive was a dunk, and every block was a spike. The game speed seemed to be fixed at 100%, resulting in non-stop action and scoring. Is it possible that developers were using cocaine while creating NBA Live 2003?
At my workstation, they do have a way where you can.
Entering a post-9/11 market, EA Sports could not afford to have their latest game bomb.
There were arcade elements of Live 2003. The pace was unbelievably fast.
Yes.
So fast.
On 12-minute quarters, you can get to 200 points very easily.
You what? Oh my god, it was the best. And by the way, like I said, me and my brother played Legends, and our goal was to beat up on the computer. And it was not far-fetched to us to win a game like 250 to 60. Like something like that, because it was just so fast-paced.
A lot of games get offense right, but defense is always... if there's a problem in games, it's usually with the defense. I have my complaints about 2003 with some of the things they did with the Courtside Comedy, as I call it. Some of the exaggerated blocks.
Oh, I'm sorry, I like that. The cutscenes? I love it.
I have mixed feelings about them, I should say. You know, I know a lot of people like them, and that's cool. It is very funny to see Kwame Brown chew out Michael Jordan for not paying attention during a timeout. It's very much the reverse of what did happen.
They have some Courtside Comedy type cutscenes in NBA 2K23. I don't know if you noticed it, but after a big play happens or something like that, like a big dunk, they go over to a specific part to like on the end of the bench, kind of like falling all over each other, like laughing about what had just happened.
Yes.
And
yes.
it's like in a cinematic way. And it's like, that's like NBA Live 2003, right? No, it's not exactly the same cutscene, but it's the same idea.
And that was a good idea in Live 2003. It maybe got a bit more silly than some of us wanted, as I've said before, but again, I appreciate that now because I've had those more serious games come after that, give me more of what I wanted out of a sim game, so I can go back to 2003 and enjoy it for what it was.
It's too bad they're old.
Because the offense in NBA Live 2003 was so powerful, getting a stop on D became that much more important. This resulted in the development of volleyball-type spike blocks, which in turn added to the arcade flavor of Live 03.
Compared to an NBA Live 2003, where you have those big booming blocks that everybody, even like a Darrell Armstrong, will block a shot and it's flying back to the opposite baseline. It's kind of fun, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not sim. And sometimes you do want those softer blocks that you can control, that you can keep in bounds and start a fast break with. That block I had with Akeem didn't. That did go out of bounds. It was very satisfying to have that kind of swipe, get that out of here. But we had some other blocks, Derek, those softer blocks that you have in other games. Live 2001 is another game that has some really nice soft blocks that can start a fast break by collecting that loose ball and then throwing that outlet pass. And we had a couple of blocks with Hakeem and I think Antonio Davis that just jump-started those breaks that was so satisfying. And you're right, having that two-way play is crucial in any game that's worth its salt. Any basketball game that's worth its salt will have a great two-way game that is fun to play at both ends of the floor.
The revolutionary release of NBA Live 2003 is rumored to be the catalyst in the long-lasting debate between 2K versus Live and simulation versus arcade-style gameplay.
I agree with the arcade aspect, but right-stick dribbling changed the game, the triple threat changed the game, and the variety of dunks.
And like the big booming blocks that would fly down the other end of the court, they went a little bit arcade there. And I think when people look at that and they say, oh, that's why Live was arcade, like, a couple of elements maybe, but the underlying idea was, again, still to be a sim-oriented game.
I got plenty of friends. I can name 3 right off the bat. The gang's all here.